Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. As you've probably seen from today's title, I'm going to do a full day of eating. This is just this one day, just to kind of show you what I'm having. I'm currently in a fat loss phase, so eating in a small deficit right now if you haven't seen any of my other videos. And I'm on day 17 of my cycle, so I'm kind of like moving into the luteal phase now from ovulation, so kind of like I would say in between phases. But yeah, this is just what my food looks like on this day. If you've watched any of my other videos, you might see some similar things because I do just tend to rinse and repeat stuff. I always eat food that I enjoy. So yeah, this is again just always like to highlight not to be copied or anything like that. I love watching people's food videos, and I love taking inspiration away from them for meals, and also just to show you that nothing has to be restrictive or anything like that. Also today is a rest day, so I thought it would be important and good to highlight that you don't need to like eat less or cut out carbs or whatever it might be. So it is literally 6 a.m. here. Here's Weenie. 2 seconds, he must absolutely have his treat because he's just been into the garden for the second time this morning to do his business. So yeah, I just want to highlight on rest days that you don't have to cut anything out. The only thing that's kind of different really for me on a rest day is I don't have like my pre-workout meal. I do still have my cacao drink, so this has got some vegan vanilla protein in and some collagen. Start the day with some protein. Cacao is like slow release energy and packed full of magnesium, which is really good for all around your cycle. So this is warm, something nice to start the day with. And then I do have water in the morning, and I've actually put an electrolyte in this still. And then I have my little granny box, my probiotics and stuff in here as well to take. So I'm literally just gonna have those, and then while I get ready I'll just sip on this, and then I'll actually think I'm gonna do some stretching. That is one thing that I do on my rest day, to stay active. So I'll be walking today, I'll be walking Wesley, hopefully can get out. It's been, the rain has been so bad, typical June here in the UK. But yeah, I'll get hopefully Wesley out for a nice big long walk, get some fresh air. But I do, once I'm ready, I think I'll just do some stretching, just some foam rolling, stuff like that, just as a bit of a recovery day. And yeah, and then I'll have my brekkie. Stretching is done, and I've just made breakfast. So I've made a sweet omelette. It kind of was omelette-y, less scrambled than last week. I feel like this lighting isn't doing it any justice. Yeah, so it's basically eggs, egg white, and banana and some cinnamon, and then I've topped it with some homemade raspberry chia jam, so literally frozen raspberries, chia seeds, fresh lemon, and then just put it in the microwave, and it like all just blends in, so it's like a jam. I sometimes add honey into it, but I was adding honey on the top, so I didn't bother. Some kefir, support your gut. Some pomegranate seeds, again really good for your gut, sprinkle of seeds, peanut butter and honey, and then a matcha. I feel like I need to take it to a different lighting because, I mean, it does look like a bowl of mush, I can't lie. However, I promise it tastes really nice. Yeah, I feel like that's not doing it any justice, but I promise it tastes really good. You'll just have to trust us on that one, but lots of stuff in there to support my body in ovulation, as I move out of ovulation. Lots of fibre, lots of protein, also fats in there, so I cooked with coconut oil. There's some coconut on there, all really good for, it's a weird one because I'm like in the ovulation phase but transitioning into the luteal, but again, like just having a balanced diet is important in any phase, so making sure you're getting protein, fats, carbs, and then like your fibre, your nutrient dense food, and aiming for that 80-20 balance. So there'll be a few things that I touch on that are going to cross the phases. I'm going to touch across the phases. Anyway, hope that makes sense. What I do kind of in this sense, when I'm like in a week where I'm between two phases, I'll just kind of like mix and match foods. Again, like I say, I'll just try and include certain foods that will benefit you in certain phases for the properties that those foods have, but they're not like, they're like exclusive to that particular phase. As I say, all food has benefits, but I just like to touch on those points as I'm showing you. But anyway, I'm going to go and eat this. Hello guys, I'm just having a mid-morning iced cough. If you've watched any of my other videos, again, this is something that I have quite often. Well, yeah, every day. I try and stick to one coffee and one matcha. So I have almond milk and then coffee, and then I try to put either a bit of honey in or like a little stevia just to sweeten it up a little bit, just to take the edge off. And I try not to use too much sweeteners, it's really hard. So yeah, that's the crack. So I'm just working still, so I'm gonna have this while I'm working before I take little Weenie for a walk. Just back from a walk with Weenie and made some lunch. So I've got a green and peppermint tea, and then a sweet potato jacket potato with tuna, sweet corn, and then I've added some lettuce, cabbage, tomato and cucumber just as for some volume. Also like water food's so a good way to get some extra water in, and like tuna and other like oily fish is really good around the ovulation phase, and then sweet potato and like more complex carbs like that are really good moving into the luteal phase as well. Carbs need to be on the up. I'm definitely starting to notice a slight change in my hunger, which I do normally notice with the shift. It levels down a bit and then like increases again as I go, like kind of get closer towards my period. But anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna go and eat this because I'm bloody starving. So it was a little bit low down there. Just having a little snack, just having, I think I've had this in my videos before, Hippies crisps. They're a bit like What's It Seeds, but they're made from chickpeas, so just a little bit of extra fibre and a bit kinder to my gut. Yeah, just something to grab. I'll be having dinner soon. I'm not like overly hungry, so yeah, just gonna have these while I finish up some work bits, and then it is almost time to switch off and chill. And the sun has come out just in time for me filming this. So dinner I've got, it's just like a Mediterranean salmon, so it's like courgette, pepper, tomatoes, feta, red onion, spinach, rice and salmon. Literally do the salmon in the air fryer for 9 minutes, rice in the microwave, and then the veg in a pan with some lemon and olive oil. All those chickpeas in there as well for some fibre. And yeah, and then some feta on top, and then my sleep tea and my magnesium to end the day. What was that, Aaron?
Hi guys, this is my sunny strawberry pudding.
That's what it is. Yogurt, strawberries and honey to end the day. And that is a wrap on today. We're just watching Ginny and Georgia. So we're on the last episode of series 2. So I've watched 1 and 2, and I've just I was gonna say forced Aaron to watch them both, but it was good to have a refresh. But I think he's been quite enjoying it before we watch the new series. Anyway, yeah, just gonna have this to end the day. Have a nice early night. I hope that you've enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, it really supports me. And yeah, I will see you on the next one.